Hey everyone, welcome back to my latest trapping video. Today I'll be showcasing some clips sent in by Damo the Trap. So Damo the Trap is a rally trap. He has full mythic gear and a very solid comp. He's running about 2.2 million of each tier 4 and around 4 million of each tier 2. So not a huge frontline or anything like that, but it's very, very good for any single rallies that are coming in. If he was taking a triple rally, he might get in a little bit of trouble just because he won't have a big enough front line. But in kingdoms like this where they're just running singles, it's totally fine. If you are looking for a comp that will cap most rally leads, even if your gear isn't great, this comp is probably pretty decent for you. Again, if you're a free-to-play account, usually you want a little bit more troops just so you can take some bigger hits, especially if you're in a open kingdom where the leads might be pretty good. So the first lead today is going to be from KDM. This will be Art of War. It's a pretty decent account, not a Titan by any stretch, but it is obviously a full mythic account. Proper rally lead. Again, if you're in a closed kingdom, you can always have a smaller comp, take different hits on different accounts just because the rally leads won't be as good. As soon as you go to a open kingdom where most of us are trapping, you will find you will find much better leads, is what I'm trying to say. There will be more better leads out there. Pretty much every single lead that will be hitting you is very good, so you have to be a little bit more careful. Just because you're trapping on your tier 3 rally trap in your closed kingdom doesn't mean you can do that in an open kingdom when someone's running 1000% attack. It's not going to work out too well for you unless whatever your tier 3 traps happens to be like 2 billion might or something like that, then you might be doing okay. But anyways, we're about 10 seconds away from the rally. At this point, you better have your talent set, getting ready to put your gear on. Damo does like to put his gear on first, which I like to do as well. If you're running really good gear, that's usually what you do, is you throw your gear on first, because you are pretty much relying on that gear. And a lot of times at this point, you've already baited them into thinking you're in a certain formation. When you're doing your baiting, you're usually sitting in whatever. Let's say you're sitting in infantry. So you're trying to bait them to send a cav rally. So in this situation, they sent a cav rally. Damo was in range wedge, was able to cap it without even having to counter, or at least swap his counter, because he already countered. He did that by baiting them into sending cav. So you can see here the rally lead is pretty decent. Has some mythic champ in there and all that. Again, not a Titan. It's not a 160 castle star, like 600 artifact star guy, but he's still probably running 950 plus on his blasts, maybe higher. It's really hard to tell what people's stats are nowadays because there's so many things adding to stats now. You really don't know, but I would say over 950 if I was looking at a lead like that who has a couple mythic champ pieces, tempered mythic on there as well, 80 plus castle stars with decent artifact stars as well. Again, the next rally lead here, so we'll move on to the next clip here, is gonna be from Neverland 74. Again, another decent rally lead, non-Titan, but again, proper rally lead. So Neverland 74 has started the rally here. It looks like they've already done all the testing and stuff because Damo here is smoking, so that's a good indication that they've already tested this front line. Again, if you're trapping, a lot of times the baiting starts from the test because you're trying to get them to send a certain rally at you. Let's say you want them to send a range, or what's called a range rally. Just sending cav when they're testing you. A lot of times they'll full counter you. If they are smart and they know you're online and baiting, they will send a counter to that. And if they're really, really tricky with that, they'll send the counter to the counter of that. So some people have done that to me, have basically full countered themselves because they were trying to counter me by doing that. I don't know. It's kind of weird sometimes what people send because you're playing rock, paper, scissors and you really never know what they are thinking. You're trying to get them to think a certain thing, but doesn't mean they are. If they think you're online, they're probably not going to send what's called a range rally into your cav bait. They'll probably send something like infantry or cav even at that point. So keep that in mind if you're doing this. But if they think you're offline, it should be easy. You should be able to bait them into the right thing, and that's what's going on here. So it looks like the rally's coming in right now. Damo's going to throw on his real gear. It looks like there was a little bit of lag there, so good thing that, whoops, that was the wrong thing. Anyways, good thing he had chose the right formation there, because there was definitely some lag going on in between there. He did get his gear on at least, but yeah, for whatever reason, when he was recording this, he was lagging, because I could tell from that recording there that everything was lagging. So it was a full Mythic blast, pretty decent gear and all that, 1.5 million damage. Again, he did get the lucky Helldrider, so that is not the bunny, that was the Helldrider pop, a 10% chance to get your leader back. Unfortunately, the leader got really lucky, got his leader back there, but still got the free kills. Again, most of these go to the Sanctuary nowadays, so a 1.5 million is not a huge thing anymore. Honestly, even if you take a full counter with like the worst case scenario, you're probably only going to get like 1 million red, just because the Sanctuary saves 80% of your troops pretty much nowadays, and if you even lose more, it's at least 60%, so not too bad. So we're taking a look what he has here. He's got about 4 million front line again. His back line is, again, 2.2 million at this point. He's got 707k beds. So as long as they don't Blackwing him, he should be okay. Because again, like I said in my previous video, the more beds you have, the more damage a Blackwing will do to you. Because again, Blackwing kills all the troops that would have went to your infirmary. So the bigger your infirmaries are, the more permanent deads you get, and the less going to the Sanctuary. So, but in a normal rally where they're not Blackwinging you, it's much better to have more beds. Keep that in mind. So don't be building no beds because you think everyone's going to Blackwing you every single time. It doesn't happen. Anyway, so let's move on to the next clip. Obviously, they didn't go in for a second rally on that last one. Looks like AND Bestataster. I don't know. Whatever his name is, you guys can spell that one out in your own head. I'm not sure what his name is. Damo's name right now is Shigalaka. Again, it's just a random name. He probably tried to change his name, picked a random name. I do that all the time. A lot of time, people are like, "Hey, what's your in-game name?" I'm like, I have no idea what my in-game name is. Like sometimes I change my in-game name like 5 to 10 times a day if I'm trapping. So a lot of times I have no idea what it is. I literally have to go in the game. I'm like, what the heck is my in-game name right now? Again, it can make it hard on your guild if they're trying to reinforce you and try to call you, or like, who is this guy? They have to actually literally go into the member list and check your nickname, because at least I put my nickname on all my accounts so people actually know who I am in my guild. Even if they don't know who I am right away, at least they'll see that when they go into our alliance list, or the alliance list where you have all the members. So they'll see my nickname there and they'll call me, but it probably takes them a couple seconds to figure it out, because again, I don't know what my in-game name is half the time. Anyway, so the rally's coming in about 8 seconds here. Not very many reinforcements or anything like that, so it's going to throw in his war gear a little bit early here. Actually, that was very early, because it looks like you're coming. It looks like he's lagging, so I think that maybe that's why he's throwing it on really early at like now, because you can see even between this, even when he's going to swap and every time he clicks on something, there's like a 2-second lag. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the recording, but I'm definitely feeling it while doing the recording here, that there's definitely some lag going on this clip. So it might be because he has his recorder going. It's giving him a little lag, but whatever it is. It was 1.5 million. He was not able to full counter this one. It looks like they did use the rabbit for this one, so rabbit was used. That was not the Helldrider, that was their actual active one. So you can see here 1.5 was infantry and infantry, but thankfully it wasn't a full rally or anything like that, so didn't really hurt too much. And again, he got most of those back from the Sanctuary, and again, he has like 700k beds, so it does help out quite a bit having that many beds. It looks like he's out of speed up, so he's having to use his gems, but he has 1.72 million gems, so I think he's okay on that. Let's check the Sanctuary. It looks like 533k went into the Divine Providence, and the rest went into the Divine Resurrection. He has 560k tier 3 in his sanctuary. So if you guys want a little tip on how to get troops out of your sanctuary much quicker, just add some high tier troops in there, like throw in like 300k tier 4 in there, and then you'll actually be able to save up points when you don't have any like reds and stuff. And as soon as you take a rally and take like whatever, like 700k end up in your divine resurrection, you can actually just pull those out right away because you have all those points saved up from those 200k tier 4. Because keep in mind, tier 4 is like, is it 4 or 8 times more points per troop than the other one? So you can actually hold very little tier 4 in there and be able to pull out a lot more tier 2. So keep that in mind if you're trying to figure out a way to pull out troops out of your sanctuary right away. Always have some higher tier troops in there. That way the troops or the points will like keep going up as you have those in there, and whenever you take the rally, you can actually just pull out troops right away. So little tip on that. So anyways, looks like a cav rally on this one. Unfortunately, the lead was a little bit faster, saw the gear swap, so that is one of the problems with throwing your gear on like that. A lot of times they will cancel, so sometimes if you're going to do your gear early, hitting the random relocator before the rally hits is a good idea, just so they can't do that cancel right at the last second, and a lot of times you can actually take the rally. So that's just a little learning clip there for you guys. If you guys are looking for some tips while rally trapping, just make sure if you're throwing your gear out early, you are ready to actually random away and just automatically get them to hit you, because if they have like a 10 or 12 second march time, a lot of rally leads will cancel before that as soon as they see your full mythic gear with tempering and stuff like that. If you have full mythic gear. If you're a free-to-play account and you're throwing on purple gear, you probably won't have to worry about that, because they'll probably see your purple gear and just try and hit you anyways, because guess what? Your purple gear is not super intimidating. But if you're running like full mythic gear or full mythic champ or something like that, get ready to random so they don't cancel. So anyways, we're just going to do a quick little overview of his account so you can see what he's running. That way you can kind of see the stats and stuff. He does have a bunch of free-to-play heroes on his wall. He has the 3 just regular level 1 or level 2 familiars on his wall as well, the Aquarius and the Hearty Feast, and I think the other one was the Piercing Strike, which reduces infantry HP. Again, if you're having whatever trouble, let's say with infantry walking back, putting the negative 40% of that type on your wall does help out with that as well. Aquarius helps with all types because it's negative 15% of every single type, and the other one is 15% to all your HP. So those are good ones to have on your wall when you have quite a bit of troops. If you have tier Pack 5 familiars, you can use those, but they get less and less useful the more troops you have. So if you're running a smaller comp, Pack 5 familiars are really good. If you're running a bigger comp, it might not be the best or might not trigger at all, so sometimes it's better to put those Pack 1 familiars or Pack 2 familiars on your wall. So you can take a look at his stats. You can see he's got 327 range, 256 cav, and 251 infantry on his gear. Tempered pretty much everything, just missing that that one piece. He's got pretty good stats to 505 infantry, 562 ranged, a little bit lower on the cav. HP is 516%. Just missing that one cup as mythic. Once he gets that, then he can actually be a true full mythic trap. It's the same problem with my current rally trap. I'm still looking for that last mythic cup. I'm still running a gold cup. Maybe I should put a mythic champ, what's called accessory in there instead, because I am getting a bunch of champion chests lately, so maybe I'll do that. So no, I'm probably gonna do the main hand mythic champ first, just because it's the pretty much the biggest upgrade over all the other pieces, other than, let's say, a mythic accessory over my gold cup, but that's different. So anyways, take a look at all his familiars. Those are just his familiar stats and stuff like that. So again, if you guys have any questions about this trap and rally trapping in general, put them in the comments down below. I will hopefully get some of your clips in there as well. I'm just going to stop it right here. Again, if you do want to submit some clips for the channel, all you got to do is add me on line. My line is Predatorxvx. Will be in the description down below. Just add me online, send me a message. Hey, can you showcase my clip on your channel? Then send me a YouTube link to your clip. I'll try to get you in a video. Also, if you have sent me clips, please send me a message again just to remind me, because I get a lot of messages about this. So sometimes your message gets pushed all the way down and I miss your clip, and I'm trying to get everyone's clips in here. So again, shout out to Deimos for sending these in today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.